watching from the sideline. That wasn't easy. Not being able to strap up and practice for a few weeks is not easy. Really just watching the game from the sideline and even from home. And the hardest part was the first. I think we played against when the team went to Michigan, and then we played against Minnesota at home. That was my first time ever in college not being on the travel squad, so that was new for me. They were like Friday night after meetings and stuff, you can go home. So that wasn't fun. I didn't really know what to do, so kind of just watch TV, watch film. And then, not being with the team, coming to the stadium, those couple games that I was out was the hardest part. And then the hardest part is finding the balance of leadership, but also, letting those other guys, take some ownership, Chubb and Logan, when I'm out. So when I go out to practice and when I'm on the sideline, I still try to encourage and be a leader to the offense and to the rest of the team, because I feel like that a true leader has value even if they're not participating. So that was the hardest part, was just not being in the fight, not being in the bunker with the rest of the team and the rest of the guys. But other than that, I guess I just try to stay positive. I focused on treatment and rehab, and I got back as soon as possible. I was trying to tell Mickey, every week I can practice, I can go. And, they just had to make a decision and say, no, we want you to stay out, and we don't feel comfortable putting you back there. So I thought I was going to be ready to go last week. I threw like last Wednesday or Thursday, and I wanted to make the trip to Michigan, and I wanted to play in that game. And then over the weekend, I was still having some problems and stuff, with my arm and elbow and my nerves and stuff like that. So I think we played at the right timing and we made the right decision. But the hardest part was just not playing, for sure.
When did you get the feeling like back in your pinky, or I guess when did you feel like you, again, after not being able to feel?
I still don't have complete. No, I don't have complete feeling in my pinky or the bottom side of my hand. So basically these two fingers and all this right here kind of goes numb and tingles a little bit, but I have full strength and motion back. It's just something that's going to take time. I think we played Illinois on October 29th, and at halftime I immediately I didn't have feeling in it. I didn't have any movement for I think I got the movement back after 4 or 5 days. I started to be able to move my fingers. And then I actually had an elbow contusion, which is a bone bruise and a lot of swelling and stuff. And that took about a week or week and a half to go away. And I don't know, this past week, I went in there on Monday and I said, I'm practicing this week and I'm going to play. I mean, if I sit around and wait for my arm or my body to feel perfect, I think the season would be over at that point. So I'm just going to continue to rehab and get treatment and push through. Like I said, throughout the season, I've pushed through a lot of stuff, and I know, just looking around at the locker room, there's guys on the scout team, there's guys freshmen, redshirting, seniors, everyone's banged up. People have ankles and hamstrings and knees and shoulders and elbows, and so I just figured that because of my love of the game and because of my love for this team, I wanted to come back and play.
You were the leading rusher today for you guys, so that means that the run game, the normal run game where you just hand it off, wasn't going very well. What did you see when you would hand the ball off to Anthony most of the time?
When I was handing it off to AG, I felt like that the best thing he could do was try to get north and south and stick his foot in the ground. Running lateral against teams like this is not going to be good. But there were a couple. We had opportunities for big plays. There were some gaps, and I think that he could have creased a few of them. But those, you could tell that the Wisconsin players are definitely strong and they had a lot of size on them. So it was just hard for him to run through those arm tackles. But like I said, I didn't see a whole lot throughout the day, but there was a few times where I thought he'd break it big and maybe score a touchdown or pick up a big game. But he's doing a good job. He's doing the best that he can. And, I didn't come into this game planning on running that much. But, when they're only rushing 3 or 4 or 5 people and they're dropping the linebackers out, and I'm looking downfield and I'm like, oh, shoot, there's nobody right there in the middle of the field in front of me. So I just take off and I pick up 5 to 10, whatever I can get, and try to be smart about taking hits. And I kind of know from playing football for a while, like having a good feel and instincts of like when to slide and when to fall forward and stuff like that. So, I usually just know how to fall with the hits, and that way I'm not taking the direct shots and kind of draw some penalties. So I felt good and I felt in rhythm today. And like I said, Anthony Grant is doing a good job as well.